Welcome to Study Tips, helpful hints to get through summer classes. The first thing in preparing to study is getting your mindset right. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right." It's very important that you are looking at what is at hand and what you need to get done and believing that you can get it done. Ask yourself, what is it that I want to accomplish in this class? Is it just to pass, or is it a good grade? Do I want to make an A in the class? The second step is to make a plan. Break it down into small, achievable tasks so that it's not so overwhelming and so that you don't get bogged down in one area versus another area. When you break it into small, achievable tasks, spend a certain amount of time on each task until it's complete, and then take a break, and then begin a new task. Set a time limit so that you're, like I said, so you're not bogged down on one area. Make arrangements with others. If you have a roommate, or if you're sharing a computer, or if you are living at home, make arrangements with those around you to say, this is my study time, this is my corner, this is my desk, my table, my area, and when I'm here, I need to study. Please be respectful of my time and try not to disturb me. And finally, create your environment. You want to be in a comfortable setting. You want to be in a place where you feel good about studying. You don't want to be sitting looking out the window, because then your mind will wander, or facing the TV, because then you're going to be watching whatever's on TV. You want to be in an environment that will help you focus in on what you have to get done. The environment is very important. Create a place where you can study and keep distractions to a minimum. And again, like I said earlier, let others know when you are in this space, do not disturb. Maximize your learning style. Use various techniques and approaches to help you remember your main points and topics in the areas that you are working on. Visual. Take notes using colored ink or colored paper. Make brightly colored posters. Use post-it notes or highlighters to help you remember the main points and subpoints of your topic. Auditory. Read out loud. It will help you to hear what you are seeing as you're reading. Sometimes our mind wanders when we're just reading silently to ourselves. So you want to make sure that you hear what is being read. Talk to yourself. Give yourself reminders for the main points, so that when you are taking your exams, these things will seem kind of odd or strange, but you'll remember that moment. The same goes for movement. Make up motions. Stretch, yawn, squint your eyes, whatever it might be. But do it so that when you do that, when you make that motion, it reminds you of what you were studying at that time. And the same is true about imagery. Make mental images of the concepts and content that you are studying with. That way, when you are in your exam, you draw upon those imagery, and it will bring back what you were studying so that you'll remember it even more. Review. It's a good idea to review what you have been reading or working on, let's say every 10 minutes or so. Just quickly go back and make sure you're on the right track. And then at least once in the next 24 hours after you're finished, go back and look at your important points and your subpoints. And you want to do this every day for 7 days. So your study habits should be proactive rather than reactive, not trying to cram everything uh, in the last moments, but you want to be studying as you go along. And another hint that is not on here, but if you go over these things just before you go to bed, your brain will, while you're sleeping, will transfer that information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, and that will be helpful to you as well. 110%. Give it your best. Work hard. Work steady. Remember, whatever you resist persists. In other words, if there's a subject or an area of a subject that is giving you difficulties, if you shy away from them, you will never grasp the concepts or ideals that are being expressed. Work at it diligently. If you have to spend time reading and rereading something, do it. If you have to work a problem out and you have to rework it over and over until you get it right, do it. Take those extra steps. Don't settle for less. Some students might say, well, all I want to do is pass this class. But and the reality is you really need to work hard so that you can get those better grades in those classes. The harder you work, the more input you have, the more the instructors see that you are invested in this class. The same goes for utilizing tutors and participating in group discussions. It's very important, especially when you have online classes, because you don't have that face-to-face interaction with your instructors or with your classmates. So it's very important that you make the initiative to be a part of group discussions and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you need help beyond the class time, we have, if you're in Trio, we have tutor.com that is a resource for you. If you get behind, ask for help. Let your instructor know that you need to catch up. Don't wait until it's too late. Too often, students will wait until the end of the semester, and then they're trying to work and catch up everything in the last few days. And that puts a lot of stress on you. Stress that's going to hinder you in your studies for your other classes. So work ahead, work hard, work consistently, and give it 110%. These are just some helpful hints and tips for you from the Trio department at Haskell Indian Nations University.